In this video, we'll show you how to create a 4-picture panel for publication. The first thing we want to do is open all the files that we need. So I'm going to do File, Open. I'll find the pictures. Say 4. I just selected them with the Control key and opened them all at once. You can open them separately, doesn't really matter. Then what I want to do is see them all at once. So I'm going to change the view from the window menu, Arrange, Tile. That gives me all the pictures at once. And I want to go to each one and check the size of the image so that I can create a new canvas that has the appropriate dimensions. From the Image menu, go to Image Size. I can see that all my images are 36 by 27. If I go to the next one, see, in this case all the images have the same size, so I can just create the canvas based on that. So now I'm gonna go to File, New, and I want to create a new document that will be big enough to accommodate 2 pictures together. And I'm going to do 72 by 54 with a resolution of 150. And now I have a new canvas here. And that has changed my arrangement, so I'm going to do the same thing, Arrange and Tile, so I still have all the files together. I'm going to go to my Move tool and click and drag all these files on the new canvas. The same with the second one. Sometimes the click doesn't work, so you have to click again. And now that I have all the pictures on the new canvas, I can just close these files. I don't need them anymore. And now I have one file with 5 layers. One is the background and one for each of the files that I've brought in. So here it's very important to be careful what layer we select in order to move the right one. For example, if I want to move this file, I have to make sure the right layer is selected. And only then I can move the right piece. One thing you might want to do is label the layers accordingly. Depending on the order that you want. So I'll just assume this will be layer B, for example. This will be layer C. And of course none of this matters, it's just the example. And this will be D. Okay, so then I want to make sure I select the right layer and I move it to the correct position. This is C. This will be B, and this will be A. Next, I want to make sure that all these are nicely aligned. So for this purpose, I'm going to select 2 by 2. So first, I'm going to select these 2. So I have A and B, and I'm holding down the Control key to do a multiple selection on the Layers panel. Once I have them selected, I will go to the Layer menu, and under Align, I will align their top edges. In this case it doesn't matter because they're all the same size. And I'm gonna do the same with these 2, and I need to select them from the Layers panel again. This is very important. Okay, and now they're nicely aligned. If you want to move them, you can move them together while they're selected here. If I want to align further, vertically, I will need to select the different sets, for example C and A. Again, the layer menu. In this case, I'm gonna do alignment to the left. I'm gonna do the same with these two layers, B and D. Where am I? Here. Again, the left edges, and here we are. And again, I can move this a little bit to the right if I want. I can do the same here. I can also use my right arrow to move things so that I don't mess up the vertical alignment, etc., etc. Once I have these two like this, I can maybe crop if I don't want all the white space around it. So I selected my cropping tool right here, made my selection, and then right click and crop. If you want to transform one of these pieces separately, then you need to select it. Make sure you select the right one. Let's say I'm gonna do the layer D. Then select the move tool and show transform tools. This shows you those little handles around the layer, and you can click and drag. Hold down the shift key if you want to resize proportionally. That is very important. Okay. You may also want to crop this piece. I would recommend that you crop the picture before you insert it into the new canvas, but if you want to crop it here, you can use your selection tool. Now pay attention here, I just made this transformation and then I get this message. You need to either apply the transformation or don't apply. If you hit cancel, you're not doing anything. You basically go back to the dialog, but that doesn't help. So if you don't want the transformation, you need to click don't apply. I'm gonna hit apply in this case just for the example. And now I'm gonna continue. As I said, I want to crop this picture. First of all, I need to select the right layer. Very important, because right now I'm in a different layer, see? So I'm gonna select the right layer, which is A. And then I can use my selection tool to keep a part of this. And here I can, once I have selected it, I can go to the layer menu and say new layer via copy or cut, doesn't matter. And this puts a new layer there. You see how it has layer 1. Now I can delete the previous layer. I click and drag, and I will rename, not the properties, just rename. This layer will be my layer 1. Okay, once you crop like this, using this method, it's hard to resize and get the same size as the other pieces because now we have changed the proportions. Okay, next we're gonna add some text to this. I'm gonna select my text tool and I'm gonna click on the image. Okay, I'm gonna type something. The reason we don't see anything is that if you notice here, I'm only seeing 8% of the canvas. It's a very huge canvas, and here my default is 12 points, so I just need to do it blindly. Select the text and change the font to something really big. I only go until 72, so I'm just gonna change it manually to, let's say, 100 points. And now you can see the letter here, and I'm also gonna make it bold so I can see it better. Okay, now just because I don't want to do the extra work, I'll just leave this as it is, go to the text layer and duplicate this layer so I don't have to do everything from scratch. Oops, that was not what I was trying to do. Duplicate. Okay, so this will be my B layer, B text rather. And I have duplicated the layer. I don't see it here, but that's because it went right on top of the previous one. I'm gonna switch to the move tool. Here you see that the transform controls are still on, and that confuses me, so I'm gonna turn them off from here. And I can just move this new layer. I'm gonna put it here. And I don't see anything. That's because the order is messed up here. You see that the layer B is under the image B, so that messes things up. So I'm gonna click and drag and put it over it. And I'm gonna repeat this process. I'm just gonna do a right click, duplicate the layer. This is gonna be C. Okay. And then move it to the next layer and also reorder it. Okay. Once again, right click, duplicate D this time. Okay. And reorder it. Now that we have all the different layers, we can go ahead and edit the text. So I'm going to switch to my text tool, and it's very important that we click right on the text next to it so we can delete and change accordingly. Now we need to switch layers first. I'm going to go to B, the B text, and next to the text B, and then I'm gonna find the C text, and no, that was the D text. There you go. That's why labeling the table is the layers is very useful. Okay, now I have all my layers there and the text there, nicely labeled, nicely aligned. Again, if I want to move things together, the easiest way to do this is just selecting with the control key from the layer panel and then using the move tool, just moving both together. Okay. Now you may want to crop again and you may want to move. In any case, once you're ready, you want to save this. You can do a right click and flatten the image, but I don't recommend that. I would actually recommend you keep a copy of this file like this and you save as a Photoshop file, and that will preserve all your layers so you can edit this at any point. But if you want to use this file anywhere else, you cannot use the Photoshop raw file. So you can either save as and choose another format, let's say PDF, or what I would recommend is that you select Save for Web Devices, which would show you a 4-up view of your file. I cannot do this in this case because the file is huge. But it's something that you should explore on your own and take advantage of, because it's a great feature for shrinking files and reducing the file size. I hope you find this video useful, and if you need any more information, yeah, you know where to find me at varvarak@mail.med.upenn.edu or the Biomedical Library, G21 and 215-898-6978. Thank you.